I'm here today to make sure that the public understands our story.
Show support for better school funding and hopefully eventually for more secure teacher retirement and better teacher wages to compete with other professions.
And we're here to support teachers because that's the best way to support our students and our future.
I'm out here to support the students, especially our underprivileged minority students, and I'm out here to demonstrate that we're teachers and we should be getting paid like sports players.
We're here to support our fellow educators with funding and our retirement plan.
And we're also here for our students.
It's a lot of different reasons because, funding funds everything in our school. Like, we're losing music, we're losing art, we're losing theater in schools, and those things are hugely important. We're losing people who can teach our kids.
Counselors.
Counselors,
social workers,
social emotional supports. We need funding. We need funding to keep our schools going and to keep our kids happy and healthy and learning.
I believe that we need to do better for our kids, and it is our responsibility to speak up so that kids also learn to speak up.
We're here because teachers are severely underpaid in Colorado, and it is one of the most committed and serious jobs that I've had in my life.
I'm here to support my teachers and teachers everywhere in Colorado and everywhere across America, and every labor union's right to organize.
Because teachers and our children matter. They're our future. They're the future of Colorado.
I think the simple statistics on how much money is coming in and how much is going into the schools, especially again relative to other states, is very surprising when people see that.
Despite the fact that we have one of the most thriving economies in the United States, our schools are so poorly funded that we're seeing problems across the boards. From mental health issues with our students because they don't have enough support, to teachers leaving the classroom after a short 5 or 7 year stint because they don't feel supported in their jobs, they're not earning enough money, and frankly they don't see a pathway to success or a trajectory in which they can actually grow professionally.
A lot of people don't know about the Tabor laws and the negative factor and how that pulls money from the schools.
I have a class of 31 and I have students that are very far below where they should be, and I have students that are reading at a college level, all in my one middle school class. So I think a lot of people would be shocked to realize that we have to plan for all of them every single day, all at the same time.
That we do not get paid over the summer. We've signed a 12-month contract so we can have summers off.
We stretch out our pay throughout the whole 12 months.
This week I've been asked a lot about why is marijuana tax not funding our schools, and I think it was really misleading when they marketed the bill for marijuana legalization, and it's really only for new facilities.
It is no less than a 12-hour-a-day job, and I think people don't understand the amount of work that goes into teaching any grade level.
I've been teaching for 28 years and I've seen lots of really great programs like outdoor education, middle school sports, a lot of the specialist classes that really appeal to a lot of students like industrial arts are being cut from our system.
I hardly think it's time to tighten our belts in education. I mean, we've spent years cutting funding in education. If anything, it's time to expand education funding. I mean, the Dow is at record levels. That's what people love to point to as the economy is doing well. Unemployment is at record lows. I can't imagine that this would be a good time for us to tighten our belts. If this is the time to tighten our belts, then what are we going to do when a recession hits? Are we just going to cut schools, cut public education out of government funding altogether?
And yeah, they can say go find a different job. Then who would you have? You won't have any teachers. Who's going to teach wonderful children like this?
Yeah.
Right? No one.
My family's been here in Colorado for 500 years.
I grew up here in Colorado and I love my state. I love being near my family. I want to be here. I want to be able to pursue my passion of teaching and working with kids.
My kids are here. I went to school to learn how to be a teacher in Iowa, but my home place is here. So I I want to give back to my own community. I don't want to leave my community. My community is my own. And to abandon our kids, I couldn't do that. And I know a lot of the educators today, we can't move. And even if we could, you know, like many of us, our hearts are here. And we got to stay focused on where our hearts need to be.
Paul, why don't you move? I'm a native of Colorado, so I have no reason to leave. My students are here, my people are here, my brown and black people are here, and I'm here to serve them, so I'll never leave.
Because usually teachers get invested in their communities and they want to make a difference. And it's not about changing your community, it's about making your community better. I thought when I came from my country that I was coming to a free country.
I think if you don't want teachers to strike, then you need to make the conditions better for teachers and for students.
Yeah, I think that we should have done a week-long march rally, because I think that would have been even more powerful, and I think it's something that we should consider. And you know what, if you're going to come and arrest me, go for it.
I don't think they have enough room for all of us in jail right now, so they can go ahead and try.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get away with it. I don't believe they're going to be able to.
I mean, throughout history, the way people get things done when things aren't going the way they need to go is by taking those sort of civil disobedient actions.
I hope that they're going to look at the Senate bill about the retirement age in the para, because that's currently being read and revised. Yeah, I hope they're listening to us. There are so many of us out here, and I hope people realize it's about more than the salaries. It's about the money that's going to the kids. We're all in this profession because that's what we care about above everything else. So,
I think first and foremost, we need to protect teachers' retirements so that teachers who are already in this career don't leave, making sure that they have something to fall back on when it's time for them to retire. Second, I think we need to increase our funding per pupil so that students have better resources, more staffing, et cetera, all the things that we know education needs. And then thirdly, I think we need to increase teacher salaries to make this field more competitive, so we continue to bring our best and brightest into this field that is so important for everybody.
First and foremost, I think that the legislature needs to make true on its promises, and we need to work on paying down the negative factor, which is also called the budget destabilization factor. And I just think that it's important that we look at how we best start acting in the best interest of our students with funding.
I would like to see our government bodies be accountable to our people. That's what I would like to see going forward. They don't have to be accountable these days to any of our working class people or any of us that are paying the tax dollars that support their paychecks.
I mean, personally, I think we're funding education like we still live in the age of Adam Smith, and we're not talking about the AI economy that's coming, and we're not funding education in a way that recognizes the challenges that are ahead. Kids need to learn coding, they need to learn music, they need to learn so many things that we have just gone ahead and cut out of education. We're just not ready for what's coming.
My personal specific demands are that the legislators, both in the House and the Senate, support the new School Finance Act that the superintendents have put forward and commit to adequately and equitably funding our schools, regardless of the source, so that as citizens of Colorado, we can stand up and say, we need more funding for our schools. We want Initiative 93 to pass. It's a graduated income tax that would not affect 90% of Coloradans. It's something that we all need to get behind, and they should keep our pensions in place, and if anything, strengthen them.
You know, the general list is funding. We need to look at Tabor. How can we pass? I know there's something they're trying to get going to pass. Higher income people will have higher taxes in the state of Colorado, so we the voters have to vote for that.
We want more funding for students, specifically social emotional needs, because teachers are taking on the job of families, and we don't have enough funding to help kids with their social emotional development. Better pay for teachers, because we give a lot of extra time and money from our own pocket, to keep education going.
More teacher pay, more strikes, more organization. Teachers, you need to show that your labor is worth something and that it can be withheld if you organize, and that if you withhold it, you can gain more power.
Solidarity, the working class person.
If we simply ask our teachers what they need, they can tell us what's going on right there on the ground.
I think make your voices heard, help elect people to the legislature that will support education.
Support education, support your teachers, vote for your teachers, vote for mill levies to be passed, vote for taxes to be added on, so we can be there for your kids.
Support them on Facebook. They have Facebook pages for this whole march going on. Red for Ed. And get on there and put your comments on there and your opinions and tell your friends and share it with your friends. We also have a Facebook page called Criminal Colorado, and it's for the cash pay industry here in Denver, Colorado. On the construction sites, everybody's getting 1099. It's illegal. They have to pay taxes, and that's where a lot of the tax dollars are getting lost. It could be going to these teachers right now.
I just want to say that it takes a village, and we all need to be together here for our children. If we want to do better, we all have to get together.
Thank a teacher. If you know an educator of any sort, thank them and realize the difference that they're making in the world.